Is Felger and Mazz your favorite afternoon show?
Yes, 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 yes.
Felger and Mazz.
Eliot, in a vacuum, best player available is probably what you'd like to do with each of your picks, but how important is positional value when factoring in the future at some positions where maybe he has some more?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to look at a piece of paper or a depth chart right now and just kind of see what our needs are right this second. But you also have to factor in, who's going to be a free agent next year, because this isn't just a 1-year filler. This is a long-term commitment, especially with the early round guys that you think are going to be there. So I like to look at it more along the lines of, what don't we need? Because there's a lot less of that when you look at it that way. And like if we have, like, center's always a good one. Like if you have two really good centers, well, you're not going to draft a third center to, because everything has to work together. So I think about it as what can we eliminate from consideration, especially when you're picking down at 31, and at the end of these rounds, it's a little bit harder to predict exactly who's going to be there. So you just have to make sure that you're going to pick a good football player at any point.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So Barthy is reading a little bit into what Eliot Wolf had to say yesterday. That comment primarily. What do you read into that, Barthy?
I mean, there's a ton there. First of all, the thing about not drafting for need, but what positions do they not need, I think is fascinating. And then he breaks down how he views, in another answer, some of the other positions in the draft in terms of they like the trench, or he likes the trenches. They mentioned the offensive line and the defensive line as positions he sees as strengths. Secondary.
Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we just play that cut, since you're referencing it, because Barth has put those two comments together and drawn a conclusion. This is a Wolf 5. Jimmy, if you could, strength of the draft class.
I saw a pull quote that I actually said that I did say it, but there was a but at the end of it, and it was, basically, I think if you had to look historically, like, this draft probably isn't great. That was what was taken. But if we do our job and we do everything right, like, we're going to be able to get a good player with every pick, and that's our intention. I feel that way about every draft. No matter what happens, there's always avenues and ways to improve the team. About the positions, I mean, I think it's a pretty strong draft on the offensive and defensive line. Secondary, maybe not as much. Receiver and tight end are pretty good in comparison to some of the recent years. So yeah, we're excited about some of these opportunities, and there's some matchups to some positions of need for us.
So Barthy put those together, and what's your conclusion?
Okay, so let's run through that. First off, the thing about not drafting positions you don't need versus drafting for need. We can eliminate, at least at the top, quarterback, center, which Wolf used as the example. I'm going to throw cornerback in there. In theory, if they do draft a corner in the first round, everybody the next day, rightfully so, will be talking about Christian Gonzalez's future. But Wolf said they want to keep him. So for now, we'll put that in the not a need category. Then looking at what he said about positions he maybe doesn't like as much. Secondary, not so much. Okay, I think that's a little bit of a need than the depth, especially safety, but all right. He talked about wide receiver and tight end being better than last year. Last year's class at those positions wasn't great. That was the consensus. So if he thought they were good, wouldn't he say they were good? Is better than last year a polite way of saying we maybe don't love this class as much? And these are generalities.
No, good part.
Individual players.
You're doing it. He's basically saying that group sucks.
So mentioned he likes the day 3 linebacker group. So
we're working on Barthy here, right? Like a polite way of saying, no, he's saying they sucks. Go ahead.
He's learning.
Yep.
Linebacker, he said they like day 3, so we'll take that out of the top of the draft. And then just positions like tight end, where there really isn't a guy who projects to go at 31. Running back, there isn't a guy that projects to go in that range. Not that I think they would either. So that leaves us with the trenches, which he said he likes. And that's tackle, that's edge that we've talked about. That's also defensive tackle, who they met with at least one projected first-round defensive tackle, Cade McDonald. And they've met with some guards that aren't projected first round, but top 40. So do they trade back from 31? Do they trade up from 63? I think this is going to be at the top, just based off what he said. With that, you want to throw that corner thing with Gonzalez out there. Feels like they're going to load up on the trenches. Based off what he said yesterday, that felt like a team that's focused primarily on improving the trenches and sees an opportunity to improve in the trenches.
What are their two biggest needs, Mazz?
Offensive line, and I would say I would say edge rusher.
Okay, this is all. That's what Barthy did. He was deducing by what Wolf said there to get to that conclusion. You just looked at the roster, and you ended up at the same place. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, convenient.
This is all a long way of saying, Barth, They all draft for need. They all do it. They all claim to be above it. They all claim that they don't do it. They all say that's how you get in trouble. If you just draft the position you need, you reach for a player, you come out of it, and you still need the player, and you've wasted the pick. They all say the same thing, Mazz, and they all draft what they need.
Well, so like the thing about the centers is a perfect example. You say, well, if you have two centers, you're not going to draft a center, right? So you eliminate the best possible player if he's a center. So that whole thing about taking the best available guy
is a lie. They never do it.
It is. It's bullcrap. The only place it really comes into play is if, let's say, you have, quote unquote, an equal need at two spots, and your pick comes up, and you could take a defensive lineman or an offensive lineman, but one is deeper than the other. So you say, well, we'll take the better player in that spot because we have a chance at still getting a good player, at the second one. That's it. The rest of it's all complete, total bullcrap. Otherwise, how many freaking quarterbacks would you end up with?
This is what you're going to find, Barthy. They all lie about this.
I've said this for a long time. Best player available is a fallacy because of what Mazz just said. What does best player mean? Out of 10? Well, like 5 or 6 picks into the draft, that's usually a kicker. If we're just saying how good they are at their position. Well, that's not a valuable position. Well, okay. Well,
good job, Barth.
Thank you. Now it's not best player available. Now we're putting some sort of qualifier on it. And I think the opposite is true too. I think purely drafting for need, maybe not a fallacy, but if you throw everything out and just say, what's our biggest need? Who's the best player on the board at our biggest position of need? That was the Cole Strange pick. So it's
that was the
somewhere in the middle.
That was the Will Campbell pick.
I will still push back on that.
That was the Will Campbell pick. And you don't want to admit it. No one wants to admit it. It's easy to go Cole Strange.
They could have taken Ted McMillan.
Because you get to blame Belichick. Now you have to blame someone you're covering. And very few people are willing to do that. But that was the Will Campbell pick. You could have argued the best player available there was that tight end. You could have, I think McMillan's kind of a hindsight pick. But I think
that was the big debate that was out there at the time. Was McMillan or Campbell, wide receiver or tackle?
See,
that's what I remember being the big debate.
But now you're just talking need. If you're on take out need, take out position. Best player available.
But
it's such a lie.
They don't do that.
If no one does it, this is right. But when you said an example of it is Cole Strange, no. The example is Will Campbell.
I don't think Will Campbell was a pure needs pick, though.
Oh, yeah, he was. What are you, high? What the hell's wrong with you?
You can make
they didn't
a case.
Need a left tackle?
Are you kidding me?
You could no. They needed a left tackle, but they needed other things too. He was the best player available at a position of need. It was the combination of the two. They could have taken Genty. He was the best player available. They could have taken McMillan. They also needed a wide receiver. They needed an edge rusher. I don't remember who the edge rushers were on the board off the top of my head, but there were some edge rushers that we were talking about. I think Jalen Walker was one from Georgia.
Don't you have to factor in the quarterback and protecting the quarterback?
That's why it's a premium position.
That's why it was
everyone went in saying tackle was their biggest need.
I don't think just because you draft your biggest need means you're purely drafting for need.
You were so close. You started out on the right foot, Barthy. Now it comes time to land the plane and connect your analysis to what they're doing right now. And it unfortunately reflects kind of poorly on them, but don't be afraid to do it.
I said it the whole way through last year that Will Campbell was not a pure needs pick. I'm not changing now.
He was absolutely a needs pick. Absolutely.
He was
a need pick.
Oh, no, they needed him, but not to the level that Cole Strange pick was.
Any given year, someone with his measurables does not go top 5 at that position. It just doesn't happen unless it's a really bad draft year. And so, I mean, there's a combination of...
Well, there's that, too.
It was a bad draft year, which has come to fruition. I mean, the whole top of that draft blows.
If they were picking fourth,
Cam Ward, it blows. The Travis Hunter experiment's already over. Abdul Carter might not be even mature enough to play in the freaking league. Will Campbell, we all see, is ill-cast as a left tackle. Mason Graham might have been a nice player, but, I mean, please.
No, but that's okay. He was a decent pick.
McMillan's a stud.
Ashton Genty. Are we sure that Will Campbell's even better than Ahmad Membu?
Well, they play different positions. Membu
left and right.
On the right side.
Okay, but are we even sure he's a better...
Kelvin Banks, if you want to do that game, it's Kelvin Banks. They were comparable last year.
Okay. So I'm just saying, it wasn't a great draft. Everyone said it going in. It wasn't a great draft. And you know what?
And it played out that
It wasn't a great draft. So it's like, but so they were just picking among the least of the bad options, and they deferred to the position they needed. And then there are other factors as well. Vrabel, because he's just such a hardo. He got in. The Will Campbell plays right into his psyche. I'm going to die protecting you, man. And it falls right into Vrabel's soft spot. But it was a need. Don't delude yourself. You draft a quarterback one year, you get his protector the next. There's a nice little storyline. Will Campbell is not a 4th overall pick, and we all know it. He might be a decent player in time, might be a good guard in time. That's not someone you draft 4th overall. But I've gotten in the way, Barthy. I'm sorry. Once again, you think all those comments point this year, tackle or edge?
Or defensive tackle or guard. Towards the top. Maybe not at the top, but
O-line, D-line.
Yeah. There has been, again, they met with at least one defensive tackle that they would have to take 31st. And this isn't a pass rusher. This is a guy he's a nose tackle. He stops the run. He's very good at it. Very, very good at it.
You can give me the name.
Caden McDonald from Ohio State. And then they've met with a couple of guards that, again, aren't 31, but you're probably trading up from 63 or taking at 63. Keelan Rutledge from Georgia Tech's a guy they were tied to. Chase Besantis from Texas A&M. Emmanuel Pregnan from Oregon is a guy I like, really physical player. So they're sniffing around in that range. Now, they've met with some later guards, too, some day 3 guards. You guys hit on a couple yesterday on the big board. Again, I think you might have a hit there. But are they going to go guard or nose tackle higher than people expect? I wasn't believing it as much a couple weeks ago. I believe it more now.
I'd be surprised if they went guard. I mean, to me, I don't know. You can get that later. So to me, it'll be something, if it's a guard, I might rip them.
So
who are we showing right here, Barthy, on the simulcast? Who are we showing?
This is Caden McDonald, I'm guessing.
Who's that?
The defensive tackle from Ohio State.
He's a nose tackle.
98, yeah.
6'2", 3 1/4.
You started going names and it just whoosh.
Are we going to do the list again?
No.
Okay. No, he would be the first to pick with.
I mean, maybe, but just the names. I just can't keep up with the names. Go ahead.
Maz, what if it's a guard at 63? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm okay with a guard later on. Fine, that's basically 3rd round almost, so fine.
And
I just don't want a guard in the 1st round.
I'm with you, but it goes back to what we talked about, I think last time I was on or 2 times ago. Mike Onwenu's in a contract year. He's no guaranteed money on his deal. I think it was Greg who had said something about if they're bringing in a contract, A.J. Brown, him and Barmore. And I see it more with Onwenu if we're going to have that conversation. But at the time, it was like, well, how are they going to replace him? You can't just move on. You can't make the line worse. These guys they're meeting with are day 1 starters. So if that's the way they're going to go, that feels like it completes that picture a little more.
You want to talk some football with Barthy? By all means, 617-779-0985. Calls and more thoughts on the state of the team heading into the draft right after this. We'll back to the phones for the 5 o'clock hour, Maz, unless you have a fresh thought for us.
God, no.
Felger and Mazz, 98.5 Sports Hub.
Eliot, do you think that you guys have improved this team from the one that walked off the field at the Super Bowl to this point in the offseason?
Yeah, I think so. With some of the free agent moves that we've done, I think primarily that because we haven't done a lot of other things. But yeah, I think so. And then we'll continue to supplement it. We've definitely increased our flexibility in terms of like what exactly the needs, again, the needs on paper are just for this year. But yeah, I think we've improved.
As we sit here today, I don't think they've improved. I think they can get there through the draft, the A.J. Brown of it all. But if they had to play a game today, I don't think they'd be as good of a team as the team we saw in San Francisco.
Why? What specifically?
I think they've downgraded on the edge. I thought Chason was a better fit than Draymond Jones. And Romeo Doubs is more of a projection. He can be better than Stephon Diggs. I'm curious to see what it looks like. And it still feels like they're a top of the depth chart wide receiver short. If they get an impact edge rusher in the draft and they get A.J. Brown, they're better. But as we sit here today, they've not done those things, so I can't say they're better.
It's close. It's close because of the loss of Diggs, and that's a big one.
That's kind of the differentiator for me.
Yeah, it's close. Like, I think if I would say they might have gotten a tick better. I like the safety. I like Vera Tucker at guard, assuming he can play. So I'm taking some liberties there. I think that the Jones guy they got to play the defensive line is going to be adequate. I don't think he's great, but I think he's what they want, and he's a good fit for them. So, but I feel like their improvements on defense are a little bit better than their improvements on offense.
I think they're a little better. I really do. And now I think that doesn't mean they're going to be better record-wise because maybe other teams got even better than them, and the schedule is certainly, I think, going to be a bear. So it may not be good enough at the end of the day. They may still backslide standings-wise, record-wise. But roster to roster, especially if I'm projecting it out. In other words, if they had signed Chason,
yeah,
I'd be thumbs down. I'd be arrow down on him.
Okay.
Contract year.
Yeah.
Got
Trending
paid.
in the wrong direction.
Right.
Sure.
Well, just
overpaid.
I just wouldn't expect him. Where'd he go?
Washington.
I bet he's going to underperform there because they're, paying off a 1 year, and he may have just poured it on.
I think he got another 1 year deal, but.
Well, okay. So.
No, but I know what you mean. He was kind of a flash.
Arrow down.
Right. That's
I'm just going to predict it. Under.
Right.
Whatever Chason's over-under is, under. Okay? Last year, he would be an over bet. Okay? This year, he's an under bet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I would be under on Chason if he were still here. I would be under on Diggs if he were still here. Same thing. He tends to go south. And last year was sort of a prove it year or a rehabilitate yourself year, and so he did that. And I wouldn't expect the same from him in year 2. I wouldn't expect the same from Chason in year 2. So I think you have a chance to be better. I don't know if Dobbs is going to produce what Diggs did last year.
I was going to say you over-under on Dobbs.
I'm over on Dobbs. I like Dobbs. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with him. I do. Because I think he projects to do a lot of what Diggs did, just younger. And a chance to sort of pop if he's featured. He was never been featured in Green Bay. So I think they're a little better. And I think Vera Tucker is, the more I think of it, and as much as I'm going to rag on them for buying low or the per game, they set the NFL record for per game bonuses, which is just so them. And I'm happy to bag on them for that. I think he's a good bet. I mean, that's a high ceiling player.
Yeah.
If he is okay, if he does figure out the health part of it, that's a legit Pro Bowl caliber left guard. That should make Campbell better, should make Wilson better, all that. Yeah. I think they're going to be better up front.
And Travion Henderson better, too, in the running game as well.
Not part of my calculus. I don't think he's going to get any better. I think he is what he is.
Well, I'm saying you add Vera Tucker, you add Reggie Gilliam, the fullback, you add Julian Hill. They are going to be much better blocking this year. And
Julian Hill's that tight end from Miami.
The blocking tight end from Miami. They got one-dimensional last year because they could not sustain running the football, and it impacted the way defenses covered them. If they are able to have more of I'm not talking about the big runs. They could break the big runs. But in between those, it was a yard or two for like 5 or 6 carries at a time. If you can just show you can get 4 or 5 yards and stay ahead of schedule and keep the chains moving, it's going to open up. Not only are you moving the ball, it's going to open up more in the passing game, and that's going to help Drake May, and that's going to help the offense find some of those explosive plays through the air. So Vera Tucker, to me, that's a good pull where if he is healthy, even if they get 13, 14 games out of him, he could be a real game changer if they get a full season out of him.
He won't make 17. He's going to miss time, I think. I mean, I'm just saying you got to go by the history of the guy.
The years he was healthy, did he play a full season?
I don't know, but I'm just telling you, I'm not banking on him.
I think he did once.
They better take one of those fat guards that we threw at yesterday and stick him, in the. And I don't want him early. I'm just telling you, they got to take a fat guard somewhere in the 4th to 6th round.
So the years he was healthy, he played full years. In 2021, he played 16 games. I don't think they were a 17-game season yet. Maybe they were. In 2024, he played 15 games. So it's and then in between it's 7 and 5. And last year he missed all of it because he ripped his bicep in training camp or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So it feels like he's all or nothing. I just think that's a decent bet because the talent's so high.
No, I like it too. You got to have a plan B.
But Barthy, where I break from you too is it has nothing to do with what they do at the draft for me. Nothing. Because I don't expect anything. I don't do respect. Love you. Dork out to these freaking college kids who you have no idea if they're going to be value add or not, early or not. No idea. You're just playing around. You're just playing with your draft board and playing with yourself. But, he's an immediate impact guy. He's going to step in and rah. You don't know. Yeah, no one knows. So,
that doesn't mean they can't get an immediate impact guy.
To me, my analysis is over with them. And whatever they get out of a rookie is gravy. And I'm not projecting. You know what I'm saying, Maz? That's how I treat almost every rookie.
You can't, if you're banking on guys in the draft and that being, look, if you're up in the top 5, that's a little bit different because you have so many holes on your roster. What's the freaking difference? You sucked, obviously, so you got to plug a guy in and he's got to learn on the fly. But if you're a team that's in the middle of the pack or beyond, to me, ideally you want to bring that guy along slowly anyway.
I mean, how could you do that at 31 anyway? You want to play with yourself in the top 5. Say, yeah, we're plug and play. Abdul Carter would come right and blah, blah, blah. And of course, he does nothing. He doesn't even show up on time. You take that completely out of your analysis. I mean, if you wanted in the top 5, maybe you could do that at 31. Can you ever really do that?
Can you get a guy
you want to do it? I know you do.
Can you get a guy that comes in on third downs and puts pressure on the quarterback? Yeah, there's been rookies that have had success doing that.
Yes. You go into the saying, this is how we're going to fill that need at 31. If you do, I think you're asking for trouble.
No, you're playing odds at that point. Totally. If I were them, by the way, I'm willing to bet right now. I shouldn't say if I were them. I'm willing to bet right now they go defense at 31. Because Vrabel's freaking hard-o for defense anyway. He's going to defer to defense if there's any gray area, and they probably need, now that they have Veritucker in the mix, they probably need an edge guy more than they need a tackle.
And it is a good year for edge, yes?
It is, yes.
Go ahead, give me more.
Especially in the top 100. He mentioned speed yesterday. Wolf mentioned speed. And it's a lot of guys that fly off the edge and play with speed and play with a high motor, whether that's Malachi Lawrence from UCF, Cassius Howell from Texas A&M, TJ Parker from Clemson,
Here we go.
Gabe Akis from Illinois. That's your guy.
He flies off the edge.
Mason Thomas.
You got all these, Murray?
Denis Dennis Sutton. Romello Height.
He flies off the edge. You just got to make sure he doesn't fly off the handle.
The names. The names.
I should have put a fake one in there.
The Felger Mazz Big Board does return today. We are throwing for D tackles and edge.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a big one. And Barthy's going to throw. We'll do D tackles this hour, edges after he leaves. But those are 2 big throws, positions of need and good positions in this draft. You could easily see them going at this spot.
How many throws does he get?
He'll get 1.
Okay, so Murray and I I'm willing to sacrifice one of my throws.
Yes, that's right.
Again, Murray should sacrifice one of his.
That's right.
That's fine.
But he's not. Barthy's going to do. We're going to do edges later on.
Yeah. No. You get the rookie treatment. You are not getting more than 1 throw from each of us.
I said I didn't want to impose and screw with the sanctity of the big board. So whatever you'll give me, I'll
that
take.
is true.
No, we'll allow it.
Well, so I was saying this to Kevin before. You mentioned the first year you brought me in here to do this, that because the whole point is it's more accurate, or you have a better chance of hitting on guys than me doing on mock drafts?
You do, yes.
So I don't know if you guys ever went back and looked at the scoreboard. We've tied the last 2 years.
I have not looked at the scoreboard.
We've tied the last 2 years.
Proving my point that I am just as likely to pick the guy throwing markers at a magazine as you are, basically devoting every waking hour to handicapping the thing. It's the same difference. Chuck a marker at a magazine or dork out to the draft boards. It's the same difference. That proves my point.
As good, not better. As good.
As good.
If I get a hit, does that count for me for both?
No. Listen,
that goes to the big board.
Listen, yeah, exactly. Damn right it goes to the big board. Let me tell you something right now. Your chances of hitting are going to go up by throwing these balls.
Exactly.
Okay? Don't consider yourself freaking Mel Kiper Jr. over there.
Throw for tackles later in the hour. 3 up, 3 down, 3 risers and fallers from Barthy right after Big Jim Murray gets you updated here.
Felger and Mazz continues on the Sports Hub. And now it's time for 3 up.
Oh, yeah!
3 down.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
With Greg Bedard from BostonSportsJournal.com. 3 up.
Nice catch. Oh, my God. Welcome to the NFL, Kyle Williams.
3 down.
Smelly.
On Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, we'll keep it to the format loosely. It's usually a Big Boy Tuesday, but during draft time, we bring in Barthy here from 98.5 The Sports. I'm 98.5thesportshub.com. He does some great stuff on the web. Really, really.
You could say it, dorky.
In depth. I was going to say nebbish. You know what that means. It's like,
No.
You know what nebbish is?
I don't think I've heard that.
It's a Yiddish word, a bit nerdy, dorky.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Nebbish.
Very nerdy draft work, but I was intricate and involved draft analysis here on 98.5 The Sports. I've been 98.5thesportshub.com. He does these great write-ups or great recaps of the Felger Mazz Big Board, of which he will be participating today. So anyway, it's Barthy Day, so we're going to do 3 up, 3 down, 3 risers and fallers on your draft board. You ready for this, Mazz? You can play along?
No, I'm not playing, no.
Okay, Barthy, give me, who is your number 1 draft riser for the New England Patriots?
Number 1, so I try to tailor this to news from the last couple of weeks, guys they've met with or have been talked about. Manuel Pregnan, the guard from Oregon. This is a guy that is projected to go in the top 50. Some people say could even sneak into the first round if they are going to go guard high. He's somebody that fits 6'4", 314. He's kind of like the guys you picked yesterday. He's big, physical, gets out in front, vertical displacement in the run game.
Vertical displacement.
Again, he goes north.
But he's much more advanced as a pass blocker than some of those guys that are just brawlers. And there's a term you hear offensive line coaches or people use like pass pro isn't passive. You don't just want to sit back and let the rusher come to you. Can you be aggressive with it? And there's a bunch of examples of him just going out and getting people
What's
in
his
pass
name?
protection. Emmanuel Pregnan.
Pregnant
He's
or
pregnant.
Yeah, he's fat.
He's
So
showing.
the actual phonetic was Pregg, all caps, then Nawn. Pregnon, I guess.
Pregnon.
Pregnon.
Okay.
He looks like he's pregnant.
Who's your number 2 draft riser for the Patriots?
Keyron Crawford, edge rusher from Auburn.
Keyron.
Keyron. Keyron Crawford.
Okay, I like the fact that we're talking SEC. Keep going.
SEC. He was a little late to football, started off as a basketball player, but Auburn asked him to do a ton in their defense, had a bunch of different assignments, and he handled it all. Like, clearly understands the game early on, really smart football player. And then Wolf, yesterday, when asked about edge guys, talked about wanting to add speed.
He's fast.
He's fast. He's got that burst off the edge. He's got that juice off the edge. And they had him in for a meeting.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You got his size there?
I can pull it up real quick. I meant to
I
do
would
it
like
from
to
the
know
break,
his
but
weight. Because some of these edge guys are like 235.
No, he's-
No, thank you.
Okay, is Vrabel more amenable to a 235 edge guy?
well, he's 253.
Okay, good that he's
6'4",
in.
253.
But do you think Vrabel's defense there's more of a place for smaller guys? Because Belichick would never do that.
I don't see it. And Wolf even made a joke about it yesterday about not wanting to have like smaller players. But they met with Romello Height and R. Mason Thomas, who are both 240. So that's not like the 230-pound edge rusher, but that's small for them. So maybe they're more open to it now than they've been, or there's some new role they want to create that hasn't been in there. But no, Crawford, 6'4", 253, good size, quick off the line. Again, the intelligence stands out. He's somebody that he's an ascending player. You want guys, if a guy wasn't dominant throughout his college career, you want a guy that's trending up, obviously, over a guy that's trending down. And Crawford is certainly trending up.
Okay.
He's a similar size to Chase on. Anyway, go ahead.
Number 3 riser.
This was more just a guy that I found interesting that I was watching recently, Chip Trainum.
Who?
Chip Trainum. He's a running back from Toledo.
I don't want anyone named Chip.
Seriously, sounds like a wuss.
Yeah, no one named Chip is going to be tough.
running
on
back
the
from
NFL.
where?
Freaking a sailor?
Toledo. He transferred from Ohio State. He is
To Toledo, and his name is Chip.
Chip. Out. If you have the beast, I forget what his actual first
He's
name
on
is,
a
but
golf team.
he's 5'10", 224.
Oh, God.
He's an absolute
stop.
tank.
No.
He's on the equestrian team. Go ahead.
He's a goal line back, but he also has proven he can catch the ball a little bit.
So hold on. Is a running back, say his name again?
Chip Trainum.
Okay, keep going.
He's a late day 3 pick. Oh, the last guy was late day 2. He's just a unique player. Sometimes I find players where it's like, this guy doesn't have. There's not a lot of guys that have his makeup. And so it's like, all right, he's a unique player. You're not going to get another chance to try something like what this guy can do. The fact he can catch the ball and run on the goal line, those are two things that they needed help from their running backs last year. I think he fits in Josh McDaniel's system.
You
As
said
a
late day 3?
Late day 3 flyer? Have at it.
Okay, so late day 3, and he's a riser.
Wow. Chip Trainum, the grade here from the Dane Bugler Beast, this massive encyclopedia. 7th round pick / free agent.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
He's a riser, though.
And his first name is Diamante. DEA capital MONTE. Diamante Chip Trainum. And I love how we get we found out this is the kid we were talking yesterday was Daryl Dawkins, Chocolate Thunder's kid.
Yeah, if you draft him, you got to train him.
So it's actually worthwhile that he gives us this. Diamante Chip Trainum was born and raised in Akron, Ohio by his mother, Sharifa Cameron. He was a running back and linebacker at Archbishop Hoban High School and helped lead the program to 3 straight state championships. A 4-star recruit, he signed with Arizona State and played 2 seasons for the Sun Devils before transferring to Ohio State, where he bounced between linebacker and running back. He was the second leading rusher for the Buckeyes in 2023 behind Travion Henderson.
Yep.
Then transferred to Kentucky. He ends up at Toledo. This has gotten crazy with the college football thing.
Big time.
But how does he go from linebacker to backing up Travion Henderson, and now he's at Toledo? Like, what the hell?
There's a guy on Tennessee who entered college as a 240-pound linebacker. He's now in the draft as a 325-pound nose tackle. They're just moving these players everywhere. School to school, position to position.
Okay, well,
changes every year.
if this guy's rising, I hate to hear who's falling. Go
Seriously, huh? Your draft's going to suck.
So, again, these are some of the guys that they've met with or have been tied to them for other reasons. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, I didn't actually realize I put 2 Toledo players on here. But Emmanuel McNeil-Warren's a safety from Toledo, projected late first-round pick.
Why are you out?
They met with him. He's a pure box safety, and they've talked about wanting guys that are hybrids and can play both positions. They moved on from both Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers last year. Maybe they did that for the money. Maybe they did that because it was a locker room fit, but this seems like the kind of safety that played in Belichick's defense that they were trying to move on from. So they met with him. There's something there. I just failed to see the connection.
Who else is
I hate the pure box safety. Can I just say that? I do.
Feels like it's from a bygone era.
Yeah, the guy who can't play the pass, what the hell do I want him for?
Second draw.
I'm with you on that one, Barth.
Faller?
Davison Igbinozen from Ohio State. He's a corner. 6'2", 189 pounds, good size. A guy went into the season thinking okay, maybe he's a fit for the Patriots on the outside. 30 penalties in his career. Just way too many penalties.
Holy crap.
30 penalties?
In college at corner?
In college as a 3-year starter.
That is, I feel like there'd be fewer pass defense infractions in college than pros. That's a crap ton. Go ahead.
Holy smokes.
Who's your third faller?
My third fall, actually a 4, if you can believe that. I'm willing to be negative today.
Go ahead.
My third is Chris Bell, wide receiver from Louisville, who I really like as a player. I'll explain this in a second. I really like him as a player. He reminds me a ton of A.J. Brown. It feels so easy. If you can't trade for A.J. Brown, draft Chris Bell. I was ready all year to say this is the pick. Wherever they pick in the first round, run the card up. Chris Bell, he'd be great with Drake May. And then he tears his ACL in the last game of the year. Didn't have surgery for 3 weeks after the torn ACL. I haven't seen why, but didn't have the surgery until mid-December. I had Dane Brugler from The Beast on the Patriots Hub podcast last week. He said he's heard that Bell won't be ready to go till mid-season. I've seen enough receivers come through where you miss spring practices, you miss training camp, you're late getting into the playbook, you're late building chemistry with the quarterback, learning the offense. Also, he has to make the adjustment to the NFL. He's still projected to be a second-round pick. I just can't watch him use another second-round pick on a receiver that gets hurt early on and never catches up, and then in 2 years, he's gone.
You're out.
I'm out. So I really like him as a player. Let somebody else figure him out. And then my final one is actually a repeat from last time. I got to take a little bit of a victory lap if you'll let me. Eli Stowers, the tight end from Vanderbilt, the guy who used to be a quarterback and still blocks like one.
Yep.
Ian Rappaport reported.
Line, yeah.
Thank you. Ian Rappaport reported last week that there are teams, plural, evaluating him as a wide receiver, not as a tight end. So now he's just a 240-pound slot receiver instead of a tight end.
Which guy is this again?
Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt.
He's a former quarterback who blocks like one.
Yeah.
That was his line from last week. I remember it. Okay. You get all that, folks? 3 up, 3 down on the draft on the Alex. Your latest mock, who do you have the Patriots taking?
My latest mock was 2 weeks ago. I think I had I had a Honachor.
Got it. Was that the guy that Vrabel was
Arizona State, yep.
And I'm not talking about Rossini. I'm talking about
at the Pro Day.
Got it. Big Board is next. I don't know if people are sold on you throwing, Barthy. Nicholas writes in.
Hard to blame him.
No. Alex can't throw. He will jinx it. One bad throw and he's done. Love you, mean it. Best sports show in the country. Are we sure we want Barthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he should get one.
I'll tell you why.
He's into it.
I'll tell you why. Because, look, we criticize sports, like leagues like MLB when they don't evolve. We're now, 17 years in or whatever it is. It's time for a slight rule change.
You throw from the left side or the right?
Right side. I've actually thrown once before.
Okay, I don't remember.
It was a couple years ago. I think people were out, so I got to throw for special teams.
Did you play Little League or Pop Warner or anything when you were...
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I almost missed the board last time I did it. So
okay. Well, we've got a bigger board. You can't miss this one.
Wait, Felger's in danger? I'm in.
But it would have to be really bad for me to be in danger. Either way, Big Board returns defensive tackles right after this.
Whee! Goalie fight.
Felger.
Whee! Look at the goalie fight.
Oh,
Mazz.
oh my God.
Murray.
He sucks in the playoffs.
That's great. No.
98.5.
Wonderful. Good.
The Sports Hub.
We're doing defensive line today.
Yeah, it's a big position.
We have 2 draft magazines. We got Athlon and Lindy's. We'll do Athlon on the first page. This is a position of need. I could see them going D-tackle. Christian Barmore from Alabama. Christian Barmore from Alabama. That's a highly touted guy, right?
Yeah, is he good? Oh, also near the photo.
Well, that's Barmore again. So that's Barmore in the other magazine. You got to hit another one. Christian Barmore. He goes 6'5", 310. 6'5", 310.
D-tackle now. 6'5", 310, good body. You know who that is? That's Seymour.
Yeah, that's good shape.
Yeah, that's Seymour. Tricky Dick Seymour.
He flashes the ability to shoot through gaps as well, which they don't really ask. But
Seymour.
with the sturdy contact balance to move through traffic. He's got sturdy contact balance.
No,
Mazz.
that's key.
I'm not sure I've ever heard that term before.
So put him on the Felger Mazz Big Board.
That guy's got a chance.
Yeah, that sounds like one of their type of guys.
Absolutely, especially because they haven't been linked to him really all that much, and he's from Alabama.
The Cincinnati Bengals have traded the 38th pick to the New England Patriots. With the 38th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama.
Peterson School, once again, is a presenting sponsor of the Felger Mazz Big Board. The Peterson School is drafting instructors for all locations. If you're an expert in your trade and want to share your knowledge, visit petersonschool.com. Again, this is how we project who the Patriots are going to take in the draft. We throw markers at a draft magazine. The draft magazine is clipped to a big whiteboard. If you're listening to the radio, that's the sound you're going to hear. Ideally, these guys, they're standing across the studio with little Nerf footballs and markers in the nose of the Nerf football. And then they chuck it at the draft magazine. If it hits the magazine, whatever name it hits, that's the guy. If they miss the magazine and hit the board, it's the name closest to. And that's how we do it. We pick 3 at each position. We put them on the big board, and we see where the chips fall. And where the chips have fallen is we usually get it right. Almost every year we've nailed at least one pick. 18 correct selections over our previous 16 Felger and Mazz Big Board sessions. So this exercise is not to be trifled with. I think that's properly set up. Defensive tackle is a position. We have 3 pages. We'll throw ones on page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. Murray, Mazz, Barth are going to get tosses. Murray, you go first.
Let it fly, Murray. Step into it.
Always bet on black.
Let it go. Oh!
Great throw.
Nice throw.
We drilled it.
Hey, hit him on the right thigh.
It's the box,
That's
right?
the red box.
Yeah, so that box happens to be flashback, which is previous picks. That doesn't do us any good. So you hit the number 1 guy on the board, Peter Woods, Clemson. Any chance that he's still around at 31, Barthy?
Nope.
I doubt it.
Okay, well, this is why the board, I think one of the reasons we have such a high success rate is that
The board knows.
we don't dick around with it. Like,
That's right.
in other words, I think people would be tempted to say, well, throw again. They're not taking the number 1 defense. That's not the way we roll. We throw for every position. We open it up to every page. So it's truly a random process. We don't engineer the results.
Play it straight.
So that's, again, there's integrity to the process. Like there's integrity to the show.
Very
so that's
important.
That's why I think we do it. Stand by.
You should have seen Barth a little while ago was pacing during the commercial break.
Nervous?
So, it's, like you said in the email, it's a big honor.
It's like he's getting ready for the pitch of the
So
World Series.
and we have a new camera angle too. We've got pitch cam, if you will. It's perched right above the board, so there's a different angle to it as well. If you're watching on the simulcast, Mazz, it's your chance.
I'm going blue. Color is blue.
Oh! Think you hit the magnet?
Yeah.
Top right magnet?
Yeah, I got it. Good one.
That had some heat.
Caleb Proctor, Southeast Louisiana.
Dr. Proctor. That's the second Proctor.
You mentioned this guy.
Yeah, this could be a hit.
Says Barth.
This is another Proctor.
Okay, Barth, hold on.
Say it, Bart. Say it.
Green color of money.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, go ahead.
Say it.
Color of money.
Oh, he hit the camera.
I literally said to Kevin earlier I was going to do that.
You popped the camera.
popped the camera.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, closest to
For it.
that is going to be Brandon Cleveland, NC State. Okay, stand by now.
That's a hit. That's a hit for me, Barth.
Yeah, can we see the replay?
Yeah.
I know. I want to see that.
Vin, can you like replay that? Because that must look kind of cool. All right, the 3 on the.
I think Louth said he has a couple of those.
Yeah,
so.
they're $20 cameras, $20 cameras. So.
I would hope to think you didn't disable it. I mean, it's just a Nerf football and a marker. Anyway, Peter Woods, Clemson. 6'3", 315. These are D tackles. Projected in the first round. Strengths, one of the most impressive athletes in the class. Light feet and sudden agility of a running back. Moves through space easily and commands double team blocking. Incredible straight line pursuit speed to force quarterbacks off platform and threaten sacks. This guy's a stud. Weaknesses. Not a fit as a hybrid nose tackle without baseline anchor to stay stout in running lanes and force running backs to pick another path. Does not present a challenge as a run stopper consistently. So what? He's an interior pass rusher. Pro comp, Marcel Darius.
Oh, he was good.
Retired. Yeah.
What's his name again?
His name is Peter Woods Clemson.
Peter Woods.
You think he's going to be long gone by the time they get to 31?
I mean, he could go in the 20s. A lot of the Clemson players have this same issue where they were really good in 2024, and then that program sucked last year, and it kind of just dragged everybody down. So he was a projected top 10 pick. TJ Parker was a projected top 10 pick. Avion Terrell was a projected top 15 pick, and now all these guys are expected to go late in the first round. So it's, do you believe more in who he was in 24 or more who he was in 25?
Tankathon's got him going 22nd of the Chargers.
Okay, well.
Feels about right.
Maybe not totally out of their range. Something happens. We'll see. Maybe it's a trade up. Number 2, Caleb Proctor, Southeast Louisiana. When you're invited to participate at the NFL Draft Combine as an FCS player, you know you're a special talent.
Uh-huh.
Why do you say it like that, Miles?
Oh, because I hit him.
Proctor was an FCS Football Central All-American this season after generating 9 sacks, 2 of which came against LSU.
Oh, there you go.
Strengths. Didn't back down when playing LSU. Despite being smaller than all of the Tigers' offensive linemen, he managed to secure 2 sacks by rising to the occasion. Plays like he's on fire.
Love it.
That's a cool line to have in your write-up. If Proctor is on the field, he's giving 100% at all times. When allowed to pin his ears back and attack, he can generate a surprising amount of push. Excels on stunts and twists, getting lateral as a crasher and disrupting blockers or getting upfield quickly as a looper. Weaknesses. At his current weight, he's listed at 6'3", 280, Mazz. At his current weight, Proctor is unable to play, is unplayable. I'm sorry. Proctor is unplayable on the inside at the next level against the run. While sufficiently athletic to play as an end, he might lack the length to make the full-time switch. He was easily pushed around by larger blockers when holding his ground and will either need to slide outside or bulk up to be an every down player.
He's a tweener.
So put him on the board. I think there's a chance there.
291, 280, not on the inside. He's not playing tackle on this team.
He's got to bulk up or he's going to be moved to the outside, Mazz, as they said.
291 at the combine. He's actually gotten some comps to Milton Williams.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like prospect Milton Williams. Small school guy, high energy, very athletic, a little undersized. There are real similarities there.
Final one. Was it Brandon Cleveland? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Brandon Cleveland, NC State. Originally recruited as a defensive end, Cleveland made a rare switch to nose tackle and discovered success. Known for his high character, he started a foundation to feed the unhoused. That's a word I've never heard.
Yeah.
You say homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The unhoused.
Might be a new term.
Is homeless now offensive?
Oh, yeah. No, this is what they use now.
Why?
Because it's offensive to the bums, I guess.
Why is homeless unoffensive? Why is homeless offensive?
It's offensive, but bums is not.
No, I'm saying it mockingly. It's a word I refuse to acknowledge. They're bums.
I've never heard of it before.
Nor should you.
Unhoused.
Unhoused.
Can someone explain why homeless is offensive?
I don't know.
But unhoused is not? Either way, you're without a home.
Correct. It's effectively the same thing, yes. So what about houseless? Can you go with that, like a hybrid?
Unhoused?
That's what they've said, unhoused.
Or unhomed?
Unhomed. Anyway, well, that's a new one for me. See, this is why we read these. Known for his high character, Murray, he started a foundation to feed the unhoused, who aren't all bums. Some just are without houses, down on their luck. Anyway, he put on 35 pounds since arriving at NC State, has the strength to bring offensive linemen to a complete standstill.
Love it.
And maintain his gap. Shows a surprising amount of finesse with his hands when shedding blockers. High motor player who constantly looks to chase downfield, even if he isn't fast enough to do so. He just wants it.
Okay, no, he'll run, but he's slow.
Weaknesses. Tends to be the last one off the line of scrimmage. No matter how badly he wants it, he just can't. He just can't get down there.
But he tries. This guy blows.
That's a horrible thing to say. He's the last one off the line of scrimmage, lacking the explosiveness to get out of his stance quickly.
Takes his time, like an old man getting out of a chair.
He's in it for more of the long term.
It's time to go, Brandon.
Yeah, the long
They've
run.
snapped the ball now.
What round is this guy projecting?
Hold on. Wait, that's horrible. He lacks the explosiveness to get out of his stance quickly. You don't even need to be explosive. You just get out of the stance. Get up.
Seriously.
Get out of your crouch. Oh, my back.
Maybe he's one of these COVID guys who's like, 27.
He can be late to shed linemen, resulting in runners getting by his gap unscathed. Yeah, he's still getting out of his thing as they're running by him.
This guy needs a watch.
Doesn't possess the lateral agility necessary to be used as a looper.
Oh my God, he sucks.
Stunts.
Slow, can't move.
He'll occasionally try to use different pass rush moves, but isn't effective at any of them.
This guy blows.
Outside of a bull rush due to his athleticism. That's a great one. He'll occasionally try to use different pass rush moves, but isn't effective at any of them outside the bull rush due to his athleticism. Athletic deficiencies will probably limit him, no kidding, exclusively to playing over or outside of the center. Too stiff to retrace on screens.
What round? Does it say what round he's projected in?
6.
Oh, God. But they got enough 6-round picks to take him.
Brandon Cleveland, NC State, put him on the board.
Wow. That guy's useless.
Okay, you have any calls that you want to get on this? Vin, can we run that replay? Can I see it, please?
Seems like a nice fella, though.
Can we see the replay of Barth hitting the camera? You knew this was bound to happen. Let me see how Barth throws.
I thought it could have gone worse than this.
Oh, Barthy. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was
nailed it.
Direct hit.
Totally on purpose.
And this was this Brandon Cleveland character. So anyway, put him on the board. Now, the latest from Eliot Wolf on A.J. Brown and Christian Gonzalez, more ominously. We'll give you that right after Murray's 90-second update, no commercials.